With the release of Tombstone Masket came the most powerful magic weapon in Oldschool Runescape, the Tumeken Shadow. The Tumeken Shadow triples your magic accuracy and magic damage, which is why it is so powerful. The weapon being as good as it is makes obtaining one quite expensive. Starting with no gold in my bank, my goal is to earn enough GP to purchase the Tumeken Shadow and take on one of RuneScape's newest and more difficult challenge, a 500 invocation completion. Here is 0 GP to Tumeken Shadow. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 2 of 0 GP to Tumeken's Shadow. In the last episode we did a lot of thieving, which got us to a nice 36, we'll call it 37 mil cash since it is just 50k off of it. And in this episode we are going to start with some Zulrah. So I'm going to spend a lot of this money on Zulrah supplies, probably get things like the Toxic Trident, Blowpipe, and whatever else I'll need. Not too sure of everything I'll spend it on, but I'll try to make the best use of the money that I have. And I also want to set a goal for this episode, and that is to unlock Rigor and Augury. I do already have Augury unlocked, but I will rebuy the prayer scroll and probably just drop it on the ground just so it's kind of fair in that sense. And yeah, I can already unlock probably Rigor and Augury just by spending my entire cash stack, but that would put me back at square zero, so that's probably not what I'm going to do. I'd like to earn a bit of money and keep a lot of the essential items such as Toxic Blowpipe and the Trident. So let's get to spending and see what I actually end up buying. Well, money really does go fast once you start spending it. I've already spent the majority of my cash stack just on a few of the essential items I want to use. Went ahead and bought all 3 of these Zulrah items since I feel like the Serpentine helmet so I don't get venomed is very valuable, and just really a really good range and magic weapon is something I really want. I do have a little bit of extra cash as I did insta-buy everything with a plus 5%, so I did get about 1 mil back, but now I only have 2.6 mil to buy the rest of the items, but I do feel like I bought most of the essentials, so let's do one more buy. So I bought a few other things, just some charges for my Trident, a few darts for my Blowpipe, got D'hide boots, which I'll probably use the entire time, and some supplies for actually killing Zulrah, such as sharks, crown bronze, and some divine ranging potions. I did also buy 5,000 Zulrah scales and the glory off camera, so I just don't pull that up in the history in case you're curious how much I paid for everything. And now we're all the way down to 219k, so like I said, the money really does go fast, but I'm going to go ahead and sort of gear up with what I have and see what I'm missing. So I've checked through everything and I pretty much have everything I need except for some Rigor recills to put into my suffering, so I went ahead and purchased that. And I also need a few untradeable items, which obviously I cannot get from the Grand Exchange. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and head to Purdue. First off, I want to repair my Avos, and I'd like to repair my Imbued Zamrock Cape. I have no idea how much it's going to cost to repair everything. It looks like 150k, but that's not it from Purdue. I also want to go ahead and buy myself a Book of Darkness, which I can get for free at the Lighthouse, but I'll go ahead and buy it here since I'm already here. Definitely a waste of 14k, but it is what it is. I'll be doing a lot of Zulrah, so it's no problem. Now let's go ahead and buy some Rune Gloves, I guess, since we only have 19k. And here we are, a pair of Rune Gloves. Basically I have no cash left, but there is one more thing I'm going to do, and it does involve the Ring of Suffering. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and imbue my Ring of Suffering. I do believe I have quite a few Nightmare Zone points, so it should be no problem upgrading my Ring of Suffering. And now let's just go ahead and put some Rigor recoils in there. Let's go ahead and put 50, and then let's just make sure that Rigor recoil is toggled on. So if we toggle the Rigor recoil effect, you enable it. So now we are ready to do some Zulrah, and we pretty much spent exactly all of our cash, so very nice usage there. So here is the setup I'm going to start to kill Zulrah with. I have a lot of upgrades that I need to make, such as just getting Barrows Gloves, probably an Occult Necklace and a Fury, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that can be upgraded and will be upgraded throughout this grind. And I also want to self-impose a challenge on myself like I've done in the last episode. I'm probably going to do Zulrah, or in fact I will do Zulrah until I get a Zulrah unique. And what I mean by a Zulrah unique is everything on the unique table except for the Onyx. So the Toxic Fang, the Tanzanite Fang, and the Serpentine helmet, I'll be going for either of those 3. If I get all of those 3, I am free to leave, but I'll probably stay if I get it really early because I need a lot of money as I basically have a 14k cash stack. And there it is, the second Zulrah kill on this account. I did get my first Zulrah kill going for the diary, so not too bad. 222, I don't know if that is fast or slow because it's been a very long time since I've done Zulrah, but the drop is pretty bad, so it is what it is. I'm going to go for as many as I can. There's the third ever kill on this account. That drop is much better, about 100k, so really that's what I should be expecting from every kill. I think I'm just going to go and sell this off now and upgrade to Barrows Gloves. And here we are, a pair of Barrows Gloves. Well, there is a collection log item, the Zulrah teleport on kill 7 or 8, 7 of this session, 8 total. Not too bad. They're worth a decent amount, so I'll definitely take those. Actually, it's like 100k. I didn't realize they're worth that much. That's actually insane. Really good drop. That's like a 200k drop total. There is the 10th kill of this session for Zulrah, and I think I've definitely made enough money now to go ahead and purchase the occult, so I'm going to sell off what I've earned and see if I can afford that. So I went ahead and purchased an occult necklace, and I figured I might as well buy divine magic potions to go along with my range potions since they do boost my magic level by a bit, and of course I cannot afford an imbued heart yet. There is 25 kills completed. I am now up to 30 kills with the Zulrah session. Go ahead and show you guys the loot tracker. Actually 32 kills apparently. Here is what my loot tab is looking like, a good 2.5 mil. So we can make some upgrades. I could either buy a Fury or an Arcane. So I think I am going to go for Arcane. And no, I'm not talking about the Spirit Shield. I am talking about Augury. So let me go ahead and purchase that Prayer Scroll. And there we are, an Arcane Prayer Scroll. Sold off everything in my loot tab except for the Zulrah skill since I do need to put them back into my Toxic Blowpipe, for example. But if you are aware, I do already have the Augury unlocked, so if I try to read this prayer scroll, it seems like I cannot learn it. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just drop it randomly right here, and let's see what actually happens. Let's see if people start running towards it. I think it'd be pretty funny to see. Alright, I think the arcane prayer scroll should be showing up on the ground any second now. And there it is, there's all the people running to it. Looks like this lucky person got it, Ray of Light. So congrats to them, I guess, a nice 1.2 mil. With the rest of the money, I decided to just go ahead and fill my Toxic Trident all the way up, and then I bought a few extra darts. Hey, that's a drop. We will take that. An uncut onyx, but if you guys remember my statement that I made at the beginning, I specifically said if I get an uncut onyx, I am not counting that as a unique towards leaving. Very nice, a nice 2.2 mil drop. That means we are actually going to be able to make an upgrade. Now the next upgrade I'm going to get is actually the Amulet of Fury. It has basically the same offensive stats as a Glory, except for it has +5 prayer bonus and a bit more defensive bonus, which is actually relevant at Zulrah because you're wearing it during the magic phase and you take a bunch of range damage. Since it is an Amulet of Fury, a great way of going about it is just making my own. I'll definitely lose a little bit more money if I just sold the Onyx and then bought a Fury, but it's okay. I feel like it's a really cool way of going about it. So let's go ahead and cut the Onyx, and now we have a normal Onyx, and go ahead and make it into an amulet. Make it into the amulet, go ahead and string it, and I went ahead and bought a Lava Battle Staff, so let's go ahead and cast Enchant, and there we are, we now have an Amulet of Fury, pretty much made from scratch, so very cool. And this is the back-to-back kill from Zulrah, and I just hit 50k C as you can see, so now if I ever die I will have to pay 100k, but I should note I've yet to die. Well, that is something I probably did not want to see this early, or maybe I did. I don't even know how to feel about that. A Jar of the Swamp on 54k C. That is quite rare. I believe that's a 1 in 3,000, maybe 1 in 2,000. Very interesting. I am not going to count this as a unique for me to be able to leave. I definitely want to get one of the big ones. There we go. We will take that. Tanzanite Fang very early on, only 60k C, so 11k C after the Onyx, and we are free to go if we choose to do that. I am not done here. I definitely want to continue going as I haven't made that much money, but the extra 4 mil from the Tanzanite Fang, we'll take that. That's not too bad. I think it'd be pretty cool to do the exact same thing I did with the Onyx and make it into a Fury. I'm gonna go ahead and make the Tanzanite Fang into a Blowpipe and use that instead of the one I bought. So let's just go ahead and sell this one. A nice 3.8 mils looks like what I'll get. After tax, it's exactly what I get, so we'll take that. Go ahead and use a chisel on the Tanzanite Fang. We now have ourselves another Blowpipe. Well, it seems like my luck doesn't really end at Zulrah anytime soon. We are 69k C, and we've gotten our third unique now. It is another uncut Onyx, and it's not a unique per se, but very, very nice. A nice 2.2 mil. Just throw that into the bank. Bro, what is my RNG? I will take this, but what is my RNG? 71k C, 2 kills after? That is my fourth unique, so now I have a Serpentine Visage, the Blowpipe, and 2 Onyxes. If this is how the series is going to start, we will take that. We will take that. Zulrah, I appreciate it. 71k C, beautiful. Well, you guys know the drill at this point. Let's go ahead and replace our Serp Helm, uncharge this one, and let's go ahead and sell that in the GE so I don't get confused. And then let's go ahead and carve this one into a Serp Helm, and there we go. We now have our own Serp Helm. It was a pretty fast kill, a nice 114. I didn't think I'd get that fast with the gear I'm currently rocking, but I had a really good kill, so I will take that. I'm curious if I can get any faster than that. Well, there is the first death all the way at 92k C. I thought I tech ate that, but hey, it is what it is. All the way 92 KC without dying. I am not going to complain about that. I've been farming Zulrah for a decent bit now, up to 119 KC, and if we pop in the bank, our loot tab is over 10 mil, and if we go into our main bank, we have over a 6 mil cash stack. 10 mil plus 6 mil is 16 mil, so we can definitely afford our next upgrade, which I think is going to be Anguish. I think Anguish is probably the best thing I can do. And there we go, another upgrade, the Necklace of Anguish. That should help our DPS on the range quite a bit. Oh, I've never actually thought about this. I've gotten like so many weird drops. I haven't actually gotten an elite clue scroll yet. Let's go for it. Elite clue scroll, see how that goes. Well, that was fun. The first elite clue I've done in a while. What is our reward going to be? Looks like a bunch of nothing. Apparently I got a collection log slot with the ancient page 2. We'll take that, but a nice 129k. Well then, I don't even know what to say at this point. This is now the 5th Zulrah unique. Crazy that I've already gotten 5 drops and now 141 KC. I am extremely spoon-fed here at Zulrah. Another elite clue scroll, I guess I'll go ahead and do this one as well. Elite casket achieved, let's see what's going to be inside this one, and it turns out to be a mimic. That is actually the first mimic I've gotten on this account. That's really cool. Mimic completed, let's see what I am now going to get from the clue. I do believe if you get a mimic, you have a really high chance of getting third age. Please, maybe this is the chance. It looks like we get nothing except for 4 Wands of Zamrock. We're hoping for something better. 204k though. That's not too bad, I guess. 201 KC. I had to get an extra one because I did start with 1 KC. And that is Zulrah completed. At least for my money-making series. I still am missing the Fang and a lot of other like super rare items, but we'll take that 200 KC. Let's see how much money we made from all that. Since I've been selling off loot as I've been going just to upgrade my gear, I'll go ahead and throw up the loot tracker so you can see in total how much I made from Zulrah. Now I did get extremely spooned, as you guys are aware, so do not expect to make this much from 200 Zulrah kills. 34 mil is an insane amount. It means I got a unique 1 out of every 40 kills, which is disgusting. I should expect like 1, maybe 2 uniques in 200 kills. Definitely not 5 uniques. Granted, 3 were Onyxes, but still absolutely crazy. So let me go ahead and show you my loot tab as well now. For the loot tab, I've only been saving up like 50 kills, something like that, maybe a little less. And I've also been like using the runes to resupply my toxic trident and all that. But we're about a 10 mil, which is I think exactly what I sold my loot tab for last time. So pretty deja vu there. And I think I'm not only going to sell off my loot tab, but sell off a few items as well to get into our next moneymaker, such as probably full Arams. And I think even the Ring of Suffering, which I had to imbue, is probably going to have to go because it's just a little bit too expensive. I sold off all of the loot tab and got a bit over 10 mil cash, and then I also sold off some of the more expensive pieces of gear I had, so go ahead and click collect here, and it looks like we got ourselves just shy of 50 mil. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and invest into supplies for our next moneymaker, which you guys probably already know by looking at the title of this video, is going to be Vorkath. And here we are, purchased everything that I think I'll need for Vorkath, even got myself a lance over the Dragon Hunter crossbow because I'll be doing melee Vorkath, and lance is quite cheap at the moment because of Fang being in the game. And I also got myself a Hydra leather, which is going to be a permanent upgrade to my glove slot, so I'll permanently have the best in slot gloves for melee. So go ahead and collect all that, and I do have to do a few things such as repair a few items and then also turn these into actual Ferocious Gloves. I did mention I had to do a few things. One of those things was reobtain my salve amulet, so here we are. Go ahead and make 10 salves, and if you ever need Tarn's diary, you can always just find it inside the bookcase in your house, so all we gotta do is go ahead and use that on the salve amulet, and there we go, we now have 10 salve amulet E's, and I don't even really need to imbue it, but I probably will, because the unimbued version only works for melee, and the rest of them work for mage and range, and I'm only going to be using melee from Vorkath. Here we are making Ferocious Gloves, and apparently this process is reversible. I was not aware of that, so if I go ahead and use Ferocious Gloves, I can also return them back to the Hydra leather. So I guess it's not a permanent upgrade if I don't want it to be, so if I ever need the 5 mil back, I can do so. And one of the final things I need to do before facing Vorkath is repair my fighter torso and my infernal cape here at Purdue, and it's going to be quite expensive again, 125k, and just like with Zulrah I did earlier, my cash stack is down to 0 after buying all the gear I need. So very similar in that sense, and I haven't even really gotten everything because I actually don't have a rune pouch, so that'll probably be our first upgrade. Here's the setup I will be killing Vorkath with. I gotta be very careful because I don't even have 100k to pay for my death if I do die, and I just noticed something actually didn't imbue my Berserker ring, so give me 1 second there. Now that I have the Berserker ring imbued, it is time to do Vorkath, and I've actually never done melee Vorkath, and like I mentioned earlier, I can't exactly afford a death, so let's just hope I get this right on the first try. And there we are, the first melee Vorkath kill I have ever done, and my goodness, I did not realize how much it really shreds, man. Dragon Hunter Lance is amazing, and what a good drop to get. I can now afford a death if I do die with the Dragon Bolts, so we'll take that. 150 with first try. I'm really excited to see how well it can go. I managed to only get a 1-kill trip because I kept splashing on my Crumble Undead, so I think what I'm going to do is invest into a Slayer Staff to hopefully stop my splashing. Let's try that and see if that helps at all. Another PB here at Vorkath, and yet another Dragon Bolt tip drop. I've upgraded to the Slayer Staff, and that has made all the difference. I haven't splashed since, so I'm glad I made that upgrade. If you guys are noticing you're splashing as well, highly recommend it. Another PB, really get it down now. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of PBs with the Lance. The Lance is absolutely shredding Vorkath. Well, there is the first unique from the Vorkath session. We got ourselves a Vorkath set. I think this is the second Vorkath set I've ever had, so it's kind of nice. I guess I can make myself another Avas, or I guess Slayer Helmet, or whatever else you do with Vorkath's head. And there is a 4-kill trip. I'm starting to get 4-kill trips quite consistently now, which is very good for GP per hour. I end up getting a lot of kills per hour the more I can get per trip, so this is actually turning to be a very decent moneymaker. And just a few kills later, there is our second Vorkath's head. Pretty common drop, but it is still cool to get him nonetheless. And talk about faster kills, we just got ourselves a 111 with the Dragon Hunter Lance. That's a pretty fast one. That's quite a bit faster than my previous. Even got myself a Master Combat achievement with a 111. Maybe I can get slightly faster, but I'll be honest, that was a really fast kill. Don't think I'll get much faster with that, if at all, but 111, that's insane. Well, there is the first death at 81 KC. I ended up doing 31 KC deathless. I gotta be pretty proud about that, but there is the first death. I think I'm going to go ahead and sell off the loot tab and then just buy some more supplies because I was already running pretty low on those. Here is the Vorkath loot tab for those curious. Looks like it's just above 3 mil at the moment. There we are, 100 kills at Vorkath now, but only 50 in this session. So I have 150 to go, so I'm about 1/4 done with the total amount. There is kill number 100 with an elite clue scroll. That is actually very nice, but that is not actually why I wanted to record. As I just said, that was kill number 100, and what I'm going to do now is go ahead and show you guys my loot tab. It's not the entire 100 kills, but I'm going to go ahead and sell it off and do at least one upgrade that I want to do. It is a permanent upgrade, so you guys probably know what it is, but let's head to the GE. Here is the loot tab I'm currently rolling with, so let's go ahead and sell this off. Now let's just go ahead and buy the permanent upgrade in the form of a rune pouch note, and let's go ahead buy one of those bad boys, sold for 4.3 mil, and then we just go ahead and use that on a banker, I believe, and we now have ourselves a rune pouch. So we have that permanently on the account, and we no longer have to bring 2 runes to cast Crumble Undead. I can just put it in the rune pouch and I'll save a few inventory slots. We also did get an elite clue scroll there, so I'll go ahead and complete that. Unfortunately, I got an elite clue step to grind out a farmer straw hat, and that is not what I'm going to be doing at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and give this to Watson and head back to Vorkath. Well, now that we have the rune pouch, let's go ahead and get the final 100 Vorkath kills in, and then we can see how 200 Vorkath kills compare to the 200 Zulrah kills. 120 kills, and we have our third Vorkath head, and we just got ourselves a back-to-back Vorkath head. Not very useful, but interesting nonetheless. Up to kill 200 total now, 150 in this session, 50 more to go. There we are at kill number 250, which is kill number 200 in the session. That means we have now killed 200 Vorkath and 200 Zulrah. So let's head to the Grand Exchange, compare the loot between the two. I guess I'll sell off my loot tab, which is 100 Vorkath in a single loot tab, and we'll see how much money we've made this episode. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the loot that I made from 200 Vorkath, and that is on screen now, 25.4 mil. Not too bad, but you'll notice there isn't any uniques other than the Vorkath head, which is expected for me to get about 4 of those, but it's also expected for me to get 0 uniques. Vorkath's just one of those bosses. If you're looking for uniques, you're gonna have to camp on average like 1,000 kills or something like that, sometimes even more to get like the valuable uniques such as the Draconic Visage and the Skeletal Visage as well. It's just not a boss that makes money off of its uniques. It's one of those bosses where it's just a consistent money maker off of its normal drops. However, when we go to Zulrah, you'll notice we made about 10 mil more, though we shouldn't have made that much more, just because of the fact that we got very lucky on uniques is the only reason that we made so much more money. However, if you actually look and take away the uniques, we actually made around the same amount of money, and for that reason, I actually do like Zulrah more. I will say Vorkath kills are faster, so you will get more kills per hour compared to Zulrah. However, just the chance of being able to get a unique and instantly make like 2, 3, sometimes 4 mil if the price is right on the uniques is just the reason I like Zulrah more. Also, the fact is sometimes I'm killing Vorkath, I look away for half a second and then a fireball insta-kills me, so there's a minus 100k. I think for all of my Zulrah kills, I died less than 10 times, and for Vorkath, I think I definitely died over 20 times. So it's just looking away and then instantly dying kind of sucks, but that's just how Vorkath is. So now that I've shown you the loot from Vorkath and gave you my opinion on both Zulrah and Vorkath, we have a very beautiful tab here, which is loot from 100 Vorkath, and that seems about correct, 12.4 mil, and on total for 200 kills, we got ourselves 25.4 mil, and this does not include any of the cash or chaos runes, just because the chaos runes went into this tab and the cash went into my main tab because it would be very hard to track all of that. But that being said, let's go ahead and sell off this tab alone and see how much that is worth. And after selling off the entire loot tab, looks like we got 12.3. Because I did insta sell everything, looks like I lost about 100k. And if we go ahead and combine that with my current cash stack, we have ourselves a nice 15 mil there, and combined with the 64 mil, it looks like we're around 80 mil. I have a few more things to sell off, so let me just sell off what I can, and then we'll try to get a more accurate price check. And now I've sold off pretty much everything that I wanted to sell off, including the Dragonhead Alliance. I'll go ahead and show through the history here. Basically just the DFS Zulrah skills that I had extra and the Dragonhead Alliance. Everything else I'd like to keep as like a permanent upgrade, so to speak. If I need to like upgrade to something even higher at some point, then I'll sell it off, such as like the Ferocious Gloves, the Serpentine Helmet, which I made myself, and still the Blowpipe I made myself, and also the Fury as well. So 17.6 mil with just this tab right here, and in the total in the bank we're at 19.6 mil. And then if we throw in the nice 59.2 mil. In this episode, it looks like we got ourselves from 37 mil to basically around 79 mil. If you remember what our goal was at the start of this episode, it was to unlock Rigor and Augury. I have already unlocked Augury, as you saw earlier in this episode. With the money that we have made from Vorkath, it is now time to unlock Rigor. Fun fact, I've actually never had an account with Rigor, so this is going to be my first time ever doing this. Rigor is now more expensive, since not as many people are doing Chambers of Xerix now that the Tombs of Amascid are out. So it is time to read this 34 mil scroll, and I am not going to get that 34 mil back, but it is an investment as Rigor is super powerful. So it is time to unlock Rigor. There we are. We now have every prayer unlocked. Super nice. But that is minus 34 mil for this episode. We are now down to 44.6 mil bank, and we will definitely be making a little bit more money in the next episode. For the next episode, I actually want you guys to decide what I'll be doing as a moneymaker. The option between a skilling moneymaker, similar to what I did in episode 1, or to just do money making methods through Slayer. For example, if I got a Black Demon task, I would just go ahead and do Demonic Gorillas, as I'd have a chance of getting a Zenite, and just do Slayer maybe all the way to 95 so I can unlock Hydra, or something along that lines. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'll have a pinned poll in the comments, so feel free to vote there, and whatever is the majority vote is what I'll go ahead and do. I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm very happy with the progress so far. I'm also really happy with the support you guys have shown on episode 1. Over 10,000 views as of recording right now. I appreciate that a lot, and I hope to see you in the next episode as well. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys there.